Guys, how's everyone doing? It's my Peaky Blinders Season 3 review. Okay, guys, I'm gonna try and talk as much as possible, non spoiler, and then give some spoiler thoughts at the end. So, what was my impression of Season 3? I did not like this season. It did not have what I needed. So, I'll tell you why. The gist, basically, without spoiling it too much, is that there are things in the season that weren't to me typical of what the Peaky Blinders show should have been in terms of storyline. I like when players play the game, and I worry that the main character, specifically Tommy, and by extension everyone else, they were playing the game, but they were playing a different game entirely that had to do with other forces at play than what they should be doing. And I wasn't a fan of that. I wish they returned to like the season 2 flavor, partly the season 1 flavor too. I'll get straight into it with my specific characters. So Tommy, again, ever the steely, calm character. Again, I preferred season 2, but it has more to do with the storyline than him specifically. But actually, you know what? Talking about him, I worried that this guy. There's something about emotion in the show. I don't like it when characters they concentrate more on emotion, with the exception of one character, Arthur. I don't like when they focus on the emotion of the characters more. There's another reason why Aunt Pole. I didn't hate her this season at all. But I get it. They want to build her as a person. It's a mix and match in me. On the one hand, I understand, and I learn to appreciate it. But then watching it, I'm like, I want you guys to be criminals. Hard criminals. Stop. Showing me the soft side. The only person that I like that side to them is Arthur, because Arthur from the start to me has always been that person who you can tell he's broken, and there's something in him. He needs that guy needs a hug, man. He needs a hug. Someone does a you know what, mate. Same thing as like season 2, season 1. Actually, not as much. Actually, at the start of the season, I was like, oh wow, he looks something about him, like in his face. That maybe the actor who plays him, he looks a bit like fuller, more healthy. But then I wonder if that's for the right reason because of a new influence in Arthur's life, which I can't spoil. John is John, as always. Um, Esme's fine. I like Esme, John's wife. Who else? Michael. Without spoiling his arc, he has there's things, specific things here and there, but he's more meh. But I like that character. But I just need them to do more interesting stuff with him. But I'm worried about, same with season 2. I'm worried about what that means. Like, is the line he's playing? I don't know what it is. Like I don't know. I had to think about it more. And then Ada. You know what? Ada. I would say she's irrelevant, but she does have a use. She knows, she's wise enough to not be as like tightly involved. But I like that she had more of a role in the season anyway. Um, so yeah, I like her. I'll put her over like John and Michael, maybe. Yeah, I'll put him over Michael. Oh, I'll put Ada over Michael. And lastly, who else? New players. John Hughes. I like him. Oh, I like characters who are like that. You know what I mean? Those kind of no nonsense. Like they're not afraid of certain people in this show. I like that. Who else? I'm trying to think. The Duchess. She is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, and I like it. You guys know already. She's a new player this season. There's an episode. I don't want to spoil the episode, but there's a scene with her and another character, and her accent. She's from a place in Europe. I won't say where, but just her accent and her manner reminds me of. Actually, you know what? Saying it will probably spoil it. Yeah. I'm not sure if this is a spoiler. Okay, I won't say them. But she reminds me of someone who I like from a movie that came out years ago. Okay, so overall impression, didn't really care for season three, but I'm excited to see where things go for season four because of the way certain things and the way it ended. And also there's another returning character from season three, from season two that I like. Um, him being there. You guys will know. Bane. That's the clue. Okay, so thumbs up. Actually, one thumbs up because I didn't really like season three, but I like it enough to be excited for the next season. Okay, spoilers, spoilers, spoilers. Where the fuck do they go from here? Tommy, he snitched on his own family. No, here's the big spoiler. As soon as that, what was it, the last episode, and then Finn started running slow motion. No, Arthur, Charlie's safe. Everyone was fucked. I was like, oh no, how could you do that? Fucking hell. But yeah, they took it there, and I wondered immediately how are they gonna solve this? Because you can't go back. How? Like the forces at play. This is like spies and stuff to do with Parliament. Or this is stuff is way too. I understand like going back to season one, they dabble in like the bigger issues going on with like the British Parliament, political ties, political rivalries, ideas of like terrorism and all this stuff post World War Two kind of espionage stuff, like the IRA, communists, all that stuff. But I wish it was more centered on criminal gangs. Like season two to me, that's why season two is still so far the best. Hopefully, season four and five will help that. And what helps it is like people reappearing gangsters like Alfie Solomon, played by Tom Hardy. I just love him. I love him, man. You can tell he just wants to be there to have fun. Probably because he's friends with like Cillian Murphy, because you see them in every Chris Nolan movie together. Also, even a little bit like the arc, kind of mini arc ish, with the Italians, the Chatterley family. I liked that. Did I? It was entertaining enough for what it was. That was okay. Apart from that, well, what else could I say? Oh, Linda. Linda is like, I like anyone who tries to get Arthur, because Arthur seems like a broken dog, like a dog who, like I don't know, saw someone get murdered. You know what I mean? He seems like there's something like that isn't quite fixed inside of him. So the idea of like someone like Linda, being around and having that ambition. Let's go to California. Let's own this shop. You can live the simple life, get all of that stress, and obviously it's not that simple PTSD from like the war. You can get all that stress from France out of your head. I like that idea, but there's something about the influence of Linda. I think I'm gonna go there. I think it's because she's religious. So part of me in my mind immediately is like skeptical, like I don't know. And then the episode where her and the ladies go on strike, you're just restrain yourself. Again, technically speaking, you should. This is a good thing to want to encourage these women to do, to be considerate about equal rights and all that, especially back then. But I don't know, something about Linda. Like, it's always complicated with women because Grace at the start of this show and at the start of the season, I was wondering to myself, I feel like she to me represents Tommy just being held back, but it's also because I've always struggled to kind of know, to really understand how I can like any female. I keep wondering, is it? I feel like it's partly just me and my own prejudices coming to the front with these female characters because I like Aunt Paul, and then they make her more emotional and give her like, oh, I don't like this. But I like Aunt Paul because she always seemed like the soldier from the start of season one, and in season two, obviously she had the arc with wanting to reconnect to Michael, and that kind of her issues with Campbell, which they come back and play like she's triggered, and I mean that in a serious sense, not in the jokey new age sense that people use that term ironically. Um, but yeah, it's just I have a complicated relationship, especially in crime dramas with females. Like I like Skylar White in Breaking Bad. I think I mentioned this in my season 2 or 1 review of Peaky Blinders. I like Skylar White. I think it's more complicated. I think the more it becomes clear that Walt is not the person he says he is, and then the more it becomes clear that he's the clear villain, the more you see that he's the real villain in Breaking Bad. The more you see that she's a hostage in her own home. The way Walter Jr. Sorry, I keep banging the table. Now that's a character I hate his guts. How I'm going off on a tangent, but you know what I mean. There's a history of like Karen Page in Daredevil, um, Angela and Mr. Robot. There's a history of characters, female characters who I want to like more than I do. Wendy Bird in Ozark. Guys, check out my season 3 review. I like her a lot more, but it's just that it comes in your head a lot. Like how what can we do? What can the writers do? The writers just need to improve what how they write these characters, these female characters. But how can they do that when I don't completely know what I want with them? That's what comes to mind. So overall, yeah, those are just like my spoiler thoughts. I hope stuff works out, but I also hope they concentrate more on the criminal gang side. I understand Tommy wants to be legit, like going into the future, but does he though? Because I feel like the whole point of his arc in season 3 was that he's accepting. You know what? I ain't shit, but neither are these top people like Parliament guys, Two Face. You know, these espionage groups made of like high officials. None of them ain't shit. I ain't shit either, but these guys are like the creme de la creme of baseless, basic people who pretend like they're holier than thou. Literally, in the case of John Hughes, the priest. And that's it. Those are my thoughts. Yeah, wasn't really a fan of season 3, but I'm excited and do like what they did here and there. That's it. Tell me what you think below. Uh, See you later, guys.